Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today I wanted to go over some VR news that really caught my eye, and I think that is basically what the Update Vault is going to be from now on. A series centered around VR related news that catches my attention. I'm not going to try to cover every piece of news or new game release, only things that really interest me. And if you're interested in what I'm interested in, give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Okay, let's begin. For starters, we already have Quest 4 rumors, which I found a little ironic because we don't even have the rumored Quest 3 Lite yet. Meta just kind of leaks worse than an overpowered diaper. But it looks like the Quest 4 will come in two variants launching in 2026, and then with the Quest Pro launching in 2027. There isn't really any more information to go on, but I do like the launch timing. I think it's plenty of time for the hardware cycle to kind of run its course. Anyway, moving on, EA Sports WRC has had a minor little update. Unfortunately, none of it was performance related. This game somehow looks and runs worse than Dirt Rally 2, which is actually one of my favorite VR games of all time and easily one of my most played games. And just kind of off camera over there, if I can figure out how to point that direction, I have my sim rig sitting back there, and I mostly use it for rally games and some AMS too. But like racing in VR, it's just so damn thrilling. And I have my fingers crossed that EA and Codemasters will further optimize this game for VR. But I need to see something more substantial than a few minor tweaks. I need to see something soon. And given how EA and Codemasters has handled the F1 series, people are starting to think this game might get abandoned in favor of a yearly installment like a WRC 25. But they do claim the VR mode is still officially in beta. So I'll continue to be patient and remain optimistic, and if anything further changes, I'll let you know. But staying inside of the cockpit now, we're moving to ASUS of Thunder. ASUS of Thunder now has a Steam page. Previously, everyone thought this game was only going to be PSVR 2, but now I have a Steam store page and a release of Q4 of this year. It's set to take off with 20 aircraft and 15 maps, which maybe is light. We'll see. It's going to have multiplayer and single player missions. And the devs have also confirmed that this will be crossplay between PCVR and PSVR 2. And I'm very glad to see that it has some kind of single player support in addition to the crossplay, but definitely the single player support too, because it's tough to keep an online only VR game alive. So no matter what, you'll always be able to play ASUS of Thunder. And I always love a good cockpit game in VR, especially if the cockpits are interactive. Oh man, I could have been way worse with that one. Okay, especially the cockpits are interactive. It's going to have a virtual HOTAS, so you can kind of fly around, and we'll see how many like switches and stuff that you can flip. But HOTAS owners out there, don't fret. This game will also support stick and throttle controls. And given that these are the same devs behind the free-to-play game War Thunder, I bet it'll also support a wide range of devices too. War Thunder itself has VR support, but they've said that this game will be paid, unlike the free-to-play one, and is made from the ground up for VR with like the motion controls and stuff. And I'm fortunate enough, or maybe even crazy enough, to own both a gaming PC right here and a PSVR 2 back over there. And for me personally, I am much more interested in the Steam version of the game. Not to hate on PSVR 2, but simply because reprojection is my choice on PC, and Sony's reprojection is honestly it's the worst in the industry. It's just not good. I wish they would do something about it. But let me know in the comments which version you would be most likely to get if you own both. In similar news, Alien Rogue Incursion also now has a Steam page with a few screenshots. But a couple of things did catch my eye on this page. Number one is this is actually the first game on Steam that I've noticed that specifically lists PSVR 2 support on the store page. I thought that was kind of cool. Further on, it says that the combat is described as dynamic, and enemy spawning is reactive to player movements. So the louder you are, the more xenomorphs you have to deal with. And this could add a ton of tension and atmosphere to the game, especially if you kind of never really feel safe. Or it could kind of feel cheap and unfair and maybe easy to exploit. But we really have no idea, and we just need to see more of this game. And kind of like the rest of the internet and other content creators out there, I'm not really sure what to expect here. Given the dev's up and down track record, and yeah, the store page says the game will have a story, but everyone thinks it's going to be a roguelike. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't bother me if it was. As long as it's a good one, I don't care. I know we have a ton of VR roguelikes already, but there's always room for another good one. And I'm not trying to read too much into the Steam page here, but there's some kind of oddities on it. It looks like it was a low effort kind of copy and paste job with some weird formatting. I mean, this is your touch point between your customer and you and your product that you're trying to sell. Put your best foot forward. Okay, in other news, much kind of smaller news, I don't know if it's really even news to begin with, but I stumbled across a demo for the VR game called Kingdom of Blood. And this is something I found on itch.io, and it definitely caught my eye. This is a third-person survival horror game for the Quest, and it feels very unique. The third-person perspective is definitely cool. In this game, I would almost describe it as like an out-of-body experience. It didn't really feel like Moss or anything like that. It's much more kind of horror vibe. The camera is kind of stuck in one spot, but it's very cinematic feeling, and it feels very unique. And I'm not entirely sure what the story is, but you're walking around this creepy, dilapidated castle, and what immediately struck me about this game is how cinematic the atmosphere is and how kind of dramatic the lighting is. And the resolution of the textures was a little like low kind of Quest resolution, but the real-time shadows and the dynamic lighting and the kind of cool atmosphere definitely captivated me, really, the entire time that I played this game. And when you walk into a new area, you're given like this new viewpoint to look from, and it seems like the devs are kind of pushing the boundaries here just a little bit. Like, I never felt motion sick or anything like that, but it was cool to see the different angles that they took. It kind of reminded me of, I guess, the photographer in myself. Best way to describe it is they kind of used the camera angles to kind of tell part of the story, which I thought was really pretty cool. And it does also feature some first-person moments and interactions that do require motion controls, so there is a reason for this to be a VR game. Now, this is very, very much a work in progress, and this game needs finishing first and a bunch of polishing. The demo is only about 15 to 20 minutes long. At times, the movement felt a little strange, and the animation work looked a little wooden, and some of the sound effects were just low quality. And really, the VR interactions and puzzles, they didn't really add much to the experience. And yeah, I know it sounds like I'm just trashing the game, but yet again, I would say I was utterly captivated by it the whole time I was playing. Its visual style, its sense of storytelling, the whole cinematic experience, it was really cool. And this is definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on. There's a link in the description for the demo if you want to check it out, but you will need side quest to install it. Okay, and to finish this video out, we're going to talk about another hidden gem. Okay, and this week I wanted to talk about Bocce Time. This game takes inspiration from Walkabout Mini Golf with its fun and kind of creative courts. I'm not going to sit here and really tell you that this is as good as Walkabout Mini Golf, because it's not, but it is pretty damn good still. And the throwing mechanics are pretty good also, but they're not entirely perfect. They do take a little bit of time getting used to, but once you do, this game is addictive. And it features up to 8-person online multiplayer that is cross-play between Quest and PCVR. There's also a single-player mode where you can play against the AI, which is what I've pretty much only done. And this game, it actually taught me how to play bocce ball to begin with, and now I'm kind of addicted to playing the game and bocce ball in real life. So it's got me looking at bocce sets on Amazon. I'm trying to get my friends together to play sometimes. So give it a look. It's pretty cheap, around $9, and I think I got it on sale for cheaper than that too. But yeah, definitely fun. Bocce Time, hidden gem, good game. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and press subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I obviously have a pretty small channel, so any feedback you have for me is welcome. So let me know how I did. Let me know what I could do better. Let me know if you like this kind of 2-camera setup that I have going on here. Yeah, thanks, and catch you next time.
Why would someone tear out the faces of all these paintings? A blood moon.